Hello, and welcome to the Curse at Ravenspire live play Dungeons & Dragons podcast. I am your Dungeon Master, Doug Kapoff. With me are our players, Ethan, playing Rivers, the human fighter. Drew, playing Lysander, the elven bard warlock. Kevin, playing Casimir, the Dampier sorcerer. Pat, playing Roderick, the human barbarian. Darren, playing Calsolus, the Tiefling Rogue Cleric. And Jeff, playing Zora, the Reborn Ranger. This is the When Bards Attack podcast. All right, welcome back to When Bards Attack D&D podcast. Tonight is episode 12 of The Curse at Ravenspire. A little housekeeping as a note. Starfall, our Sunday night campaign, is on this Sunday, 7:30 Central Standard Time, YouTube, Twitch, and you can catch old episodes on Spotify. But besides that, I'm going to bring our players in, and we're going to jump right back into our game. With me is Pat, Drew, Ethan, Darren, and Jeff. So welcome back, players. And let me get the music kicked off. There it goes. Last time, Curse at Ravenspire. Our adventurers made their way back into town and to dinner with Fiona Wachter. The meal itself was cordial enough. Clearly a home with a lot of wealth and nobility. She is clearly well-to-do by the adornments of her home and herself. You are greeted by servants that wait on you and her hand and foot as you are brought into her beautiful and lovely home on the north side of Vallaki. The group cuts right to the chase, questioning why she has brought you all here and what does she want. You learn that she is highly unhappy with the current leadership of Vallaki. She is concerned that Baron Vargas and his ilk will be the demise of Vallaki at some point by challenging Strahd so openly with these giant festivals and acts of defiance that she's worried Vallaki will become another Berez. Berez is a village south of here that was completely destroyed and decimated. So she is going to propose to the group, and did, a change in leadership of Vallaki that she needs help with. But that's just the first stepping stone for her real want in power. Not only does she want to become the town elder, the Baron of Vallaki, she has her eyes set much higher than that. She has her eyes set on Strahd's throne. She believes that he can be controlled or manipulated, Strahd, that is, and that with the right resources, that like the entire town of Vallaki backing her, Strahd is just one man. He has some of his own creatures, but at the end of the day, he is a vampire, maybe a strong vampire, and she believes that with the right resources, with her at the helm of Vallaki, a play could be made for his throne. And if she was at the throne of Barovia, in control of the dark powers as Strahd is, that she could release you all and allow you all to leave, or to, be a powerful ally to her if you chose to stay. So that's pretty much what she offered to you all. She wants Isaac, the majordomo of Vargas, killed. And if you all can do that, she has a number of supporters scattered throughout the village. or the town that would help take care of any of the guards. Some of the guards are loyal to her, she claims, and ultimately she could turn the tides of Vallaki and insert herself as the Baron. And so that's the conversation. That's the light dinner conversation. There's been some suspect that she has some kind of power, perhaps that she has struck a deal with some sort of greater power. And right before that, as a reminder, Drew, you were offered by the dark powers of Barovia in a dream, basically to take over for Strahd yourself, and that they would support you if you would take a pact and take power from them like you've done in the past. You did not agree to it at the time, but they said they would reach back out to you in the future. So all that's what happened last time. We had Drew's little conversation, then we had dinner. So as we pick the game back up, the 5 of you are at dinner. Dinner is 2/3 of the way done. She has just made that offer. You guys have gone back and forth. It sounds like at least there was some interest in it, because we did make some rolls on that to see if she suspected that you guys were just lying to her. And at least some of you were interested in, yeah, you know what, maybe we can use her. Maybe we can help her. Maybe this is a good thing. It's unclear. But there's definitely some interest, it sounded like. So with that, I turn the game back to you all in the middle of this dinner.
You also forgot the completely non-innuendo-laden situation of us revealing Roderick's powers to himself.
That is true.
Oh,
that is
yeah.
true. That is true. Yes, we did learn that Roderick's powers have come from Casimir in some way, and that they may be rooted in Strahd's dark magic secretly. Good reminder. Thank you. All right, dinner. You guys have eaten. Dinner is almost over. The little desserts have been brought out. The wine is the best wine you've ever tasted. She said it's a rare wine that is no longer even made in Barovia. But yeah, the dinner conversation has moved a little bit more casual, unless you guys want to talk about anything that has transpired that you want to follow up on. Otherwise, I will start bringing it to an end and move us on to, I assume you guys discuss the next steps in private.
I'm trying to remember. So she wants us to take out the Major Domo guy.
Yep, Isaac.
And I'm trying to remember. Did she say she was going to take out the family? I'm trying to remember what she said specifically about the actual mayor,
Baron,
or how that was.
Yes, yeah, she said she would take care of Baron Vargas, yes, if you guys can take care of Isaac. The guards are basically, what she said is that the town guards are afraid of Isaac. He rules a little bit by fear, and so if he is gone, she believes that the guards will break, and some are loyal to her already, that they'll be able to turn the tides quickly.
Okay.
So
yeah,
what she
sorry,
will...
I'm just trying to pick up where we were. Yeah, go ahead.
You're good. She's going to go back into some of that conversation as we're wrapping up. Kind of last bites are being made here. She'll continue the conversation, moving from a less casual mode. As we're preparing to finish here, I hope you will truly consider my offer. I think with your abilities and my resources, I think you will find that I can make your time in Barovia very much more comfortable. And I know what I am asking you is not an easy request, but understand that Vargas, though he may be a champion against Strahd and acts as one of virtue, he is not. He is egotistical. He rules with fear. He torments the people of Vallaki that speak out against him. He is no saint by any means. And you should never trust someone who keeps prisoners in their home. Some of my closest followers have not returned from his residence. So just do not suspect that he is as nice as he claims to be.
Can you clarify that or expound on that?
Yes.
I know you said your daughter has essentially been, whatever, like, not hypnotized, some mind
Cursed.
controlled or something.
Yeah, cursed.
Yeah.
Yes, there are many of those that speak out against Baron Vargas end up in the stocks, and some of my supporters are there now. Their time there is nearly at an end, but one of my closest friends has not returned from his house, and we believe that he is being kept there.
Are they also making him wear a donkey head there?
I do not know. He has not been seen. But there has been rumors for some time that Baron Vargas has a dungeon of sorts in his home. I suspect my friend is there, if he is still alive. If you could...
And when you say the people in the stocks time is coming to an end, do you mean that figuratively or literally?
Literally. Their sentence is nearly over. They have another day. They should be free tomorrow night.
Sentence ends. Okay,
Sentence
freedom.
ends.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you could find my friend inside Vargas's home, that would of course be very helpful. I would be indebted to you, of course. He would be a great asset.
Can you describe this person?
Yes, his name is Gentry. She gives you a brief description of a human. Human, male, tall, muscular, red hair.
We're looking for that guy.
I was saying, is that the same name?
No,
Yeah,
that was that was Gandrock. Was the guy that took the bones?
Yeah.
That was Gandrock.
Okay. Yeah. I was like, damn, that sounds really familiar.
It did sound familiar. I had the same thought.
Gandrock. I mean, not that close, but they both start with.
It sounds really familiar because she basically just described Roderick.
A little bit, yeah.
That was also what I heard.
Yeah.
Is Vargas connected with the Asker? Is Vargas connected with the missing children from the orphanage?
Not that I'm aware of. There is a wolf enclave north of here, across the lake in the mountains there. They frequently come for children. That is how they keep their packs strong.
How would the wolf get inside the city walls and take children?
She laughs when you say that. These walls are nothing but a fake facade. There are many ways into this village if you know where to look. As she says that, your head has to go towards. You already found a giant hole in the wall that Darren fixed, but she suggests there's many ways into the city when she says that.
Yeah.
The people here are safe only with overconfidence. They believe these walls protect them. Strahd could destroy this village in a second if he wished. The safety perceived in this village is just that, perception only. Be clear. There is no place safe in Barovia. Truly.
How long until you want to put your plan into action?
She thinks about it, kind of flicks her finger against her chin for a moment. I would like 3 days. Once my people are free, rested, would help. I have a few other things I have in the works, she says sort of coyly. And yes, 3 days would be good. Now, should the opportunity come sooner, please just let me know and I will support any action that you were to take.
Are you, so just so I'm understanding it, what it is you're asking, are you thinking that us going in to find your friend and dealing with the, what the hell's his name?
Vargas.
Vargas is
Isaac.
Baron, isn't he?
Isaac.
Is that all one action, or are you seeing multiple? Because it seems like if we take out Isaac, we can stroll through the house and find him, right? Like,
Yes, if we freed him before our assault on Valaki, he would be a great asset, but it is not a requirement for my plan by any means.
How would you? Go ahead, Darren.
And just to be clear, you just said your assault on Valaki.
That's literally what I was just gonna say.
Well, my change in leadership, when we remove and subdue any of the guards that remain loyal to Vargas before he is removed from power.
Isn't that called a coup?
You can call it what you wish.
Sounds better than an assault on the city.
Be clear, I have no means of harming the city itself. Sorry, my words were chosen poorly. Perhaps too much wine.
Okay.
But 3 days.
Oh yeah,
Rivers would be good. But if the opportunity happens sooner, just come and let me know. We can speed up our plans if we must.
it gives us some time to think about your offer.
Aye. It's like me dad always used to say, better the bread be a little crispy on the outside rather than underdone on the inside.
Sure. Just
Look wistfully out of the window at the night sky.
interesting timing. As you do, Ethan, a couple of things you notice as you're looking out at the night sky. You hear
about my old life.
Thinking about your
Sorry,
old
go ahead.
life. You hear a clap of thunder, and you can hear a few raindrops on the roof starting to drop. But then, after you hear the clap of thunder, across the lake, I mean, as far as into the distance as you can see, you see a flash of purple lightning reach up, not from the sky down, but up from the sky, or up from the tree line. You see a bolt of purple lightning just shoot up into the sky, lights up the whole lake for just a second.
Got it.
With that, she looks at you. I'm sure you have much to think about, my hopefully new friends. As we have discussed, I am sure I can trust that we will keep this all between us, friends. She looks at each of you when she says that.
Indeed. We
Certainly try.
we'll take a bit to discuss and let you know.
Did you want to take
Thank
some
you.
food for your friends that were not able to join us?
Was not able to join us. What?
Would you like to take some food for your friends that were traveling with you that were unable to
Yeah.
join us?
Oh, yeah.
I'll take a to-go container. Yeah.
Are they staying with you at the inn? She asks.
You know, that much I'm not sure. I don't know where they got off to.
She sips her wine. Vladimir, make some 2 to-go containers for our friends to take with them. He comes in, bows. They start taking some of the plates of food away. And, is there anything else that I can do for you while you are here, my friends? She says.
Did we already out of game? Did we already ask her about the wine? I can't remember if we had that conversation.
You asked her where she got her wine, specifically.
Yeah.
And she said that she has kept a bunch of the good stuff, essentially. But they don't make that brand or that vintage, I guess is the right word for those wine drinkers. That vintage anymore, and they haven't for a few years. She did not know why, but she has kept some.
Well, I'll ask her that then. I'll say, why? You mentioned before, like swirl the wine in the cup a little bit. You told us about this vintage before, and I've understood that, and we've been told that the town's under a little bit of a supply issue with wine. Seems to be upsetting certain people. Why? Do you know anything about that?
I have not had time to address that particular rumor. I have heard it as well. The shipments have not come, from my understanding, for a few days. But no, I do not know. The winery is west of here, south of Brez.
Do you know anybody? Do you know anybody who handles who would be a foreman or someone who handles high-level logistics for the in and out of wine that we could talk to, maybe?
The innkeeper, his family runs it. He would know. He would know best. The winery has provided the wine at almost no cost to all of the cities of Barovia for as long as I can remember. They have. It is one of the few bright spots in Barovia that we have, and they have supplied it for many, 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 many years. But no, the innkeeper, his family runs the winery. He would know. He would know best. I suspect.
Thank you.
I am not too worried about it. I do like the Barovian wine, by all means, but I have some Vistani friends I can reach out to if things get desperate. They bring supplies like this food that you are eating from other areas. That's what she says. Okay.
We
With
appreciate
that,
your hospitality,
Yeah,
and
of course. Of course.
we'll
They bring you some
take
extra
all
food.
of this under advisement and discussion, and we'll have our response soon.
Okay. And they bring the food in. Dinner is pretty much wrapped. I assume you guys will all start to head out then. They will sort of usher you out slowly, casually, back the way you came, through the front door, which is essentially one door. You only can see that there is a kitchen on the other side, stairs going upstairs. Other than that, you don't see anything else in your short trip out the front door. But they will lead you out. Vladimir will lead you out into the front yard, give you a quick bow, and they will close the door, leaving the five of you standing in her front yard.
Bye, Vladimir. All right, let's go back to the inn. Yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. It's starting to rain now, actually pick up rain.
It's just a little bit of drizzle, but yeah, there's a little bit of rain starting to come in.
Let's hit it. Cozy night at the inn. I'm all about it.
Okay.
Does can I
Anybody do it?
clarify? Because I had a note. I just want to make sure it was accurate because I was scribbling quickly last time. I had a note that said I guess it's card 1 is a diary. Is that the tome?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes. There are 3 cards. One refers to the diary. There's four cards technically. One refers to, and she referred to it as a diary for the first time. So Ava referred to it as the tome. She said that she said that Strahd used to have a diary. As you guys were kind of probing about, is there a way to break the curse, the kind of stuff she mentioned, there may be details about the pact within that diary, which, yes, is likely the tome being referred to. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, you guys are there. So you guys head to the inn. Nobody's doing anything along the way that I need to be aware of? It's a 10, 15-minute walk back.
Time of night? I mean, is it nighttime? Or
it is now nighttime. Yeah, you guys went at about 7. It's probably a good 90-minute dinner, so it's probably 9:30, 10 o'clock at this point. The streets are relatively empty. You do see a guard or two with little torchlights, little lanterns that they're carrying around up and down the streets. They definitely, as you move by, will eye you pretty closely, but you're in the town, so they're not too worried. But yeah, you make it back to the inn without any trouble. And by the time you get to the inn, it's now 10:30. The inn is pretty quiet. Most of the people have gone. The hunters are no longer there. There are 2 locals, the 2 drunkard children, which appear to be Fiona's kids, you learned, or suspected, are no longer there. There are just two what look like locals based on their dress, two Barovians having what looks like a late dinner and drink. The bartender is still there, same guy that was there earlier today. You don't see his wife or his kids anymore that were there earlier. He is just cleaning up. The fire is kind of tuned down quite a bit, but you're welcomed in as you come in. Oh, good evening. Welcome back.
I don't feel like we should have any of these conversations in any sort of public space.
Let's. I say like polite, "Hey, good evening," to the bartender, and then just basically head straight up unless anybody's like stopping at the bar.
Sure.
I'm going to take a step back as we're heading on the way back. I asked, should we head to the inn or should we head to the church?
Oh, well, that's a good point.
Should we stay with he offered us to stay there as well, right? We could, I don't know. We have their food too, technically, but I also the fact that people are inquiring about them makes me wonder more.
Yeah,
but also I wouldn't mind getting what's his name's thought on what we were offered.
Yeah, Ismark. I feel like Ismark would have a good 2 cents to throw in. She did ask directly where they were staying.
Yeah.
But she did think they were staying at the inn.
If anything, she would assume the inn.
Yeah, she did. She did assume the inn. She asked that question.
Yeah.
She specifically referred that. But she knew you stood up to Strahd, so she clearly had some source in Barovia.
Right.
That's why she invited you.
Yeah.
So where do you want to go? Inn or church?
What do you guys think? I'm fine to go straight to the church, and then if we need to bail and go back to the inn, we could. But if we just want to keep the rooms as just sort of a front, we could do that too. It's not. You get in and out of the rooms outside of the building, correct, Doug?
There is an entrance from outside that leads straight up to the top floor as well. You can go from in or out.
Sweet.
Got it.
I was going to say, I would prefer to be at the church. Whenever Fiona mentioned our guests, our traveling companions, I got a twinge of worry.
Yeah.
Oh, we could just go stay at the church and have somebody stalk the apartment. Put somebody up there and see if anybody comes looking around, or we want to get in trouble.
We could just ask the innkeeper too. Just have him let us know if anyone comes asking about us.
Yeah.
I don't know. After the first barkeep, I don't trust those innkeepers and barkeeps anymore.
Hey, they held on to your cheese for you.
Touche. Everything's rounded out at this point.
Well,
Let's
what do you
head
guys
to the
want to
church
do?
then.
Okay, you want to head to the church? Is that the final decision? Do you?
What I would suggest doing is we go up to our rooms, and then we exit out the back.
Yeah.
To the church.
Agreed. Yeah.
Very sneaky. Very furtive.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that.
I like plan.
Okay. Sorry, just checking something real quick.
Roll for initiative.
Nope. All right, so you're going to head into the bar. So, yep, he'll say good evening and all that, just as he said. That's what you see in the room. You guys go up to your rooms and head out to the outer door and out to the outer stairs, and then book to the church. Do you want to say anything to him? You said, have him tell you if somebody comes. Did you want to actually say that, or was that just something thought out loud, just for clarity?
What do you guys think? I'm assuming they would let us know if someone was asking for us. So what are we actually asking him to do?
Yeah, I don't think we should say anything.
Okay.
I think if we come back to our room and there's holes and stab marks in the pillow and bed dress, then we'll know that someone was there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely know at that point. All right.
Okay. See the paintings have the eyes cut out. They're actually like real people's eyes on their side.
You know what, Doug? While I'm in the room before we leave, I want to put a couple pillows under the blanket, like a person curled up sleeping.
Got it. Okay.
I was actually going to ask if we could borrow one of Jeff's arms and just like stick it under the offering thing.
That's
just.
Do you have any spare parts that you brought with you?
Yeah. Do you have any extras?
What for the kids for?
All right, so you guys make your way to through the hotel. Set your stuff up as you wish. Don't say anything to the bartender outside of good night. It sounds like, and then make your way to the church. You make it there just before 11 o'clock. The church is quiet when you guys arrive. When you enter, you get the impression as the doors open, they're not locked yet. But you get the impression as you open the church, you can see that Ismark and Irina are bedded down in the kind of in the back of the chapel right now. You can see into that room. And the priest is just kind of sweeping up and just kind of cleaning some things up in the main foyer. You seem surprised when the door opens. Oh, well, I wasn't expecting you tonight.
You can at least lock the door.
Well, this is a church. It is open for the village of Anaki. This is a place of worship. But yes, I was getting ready to lock up for the night. I mean, with the bones returned, we have nothing to fear of Strahd and his minions now here.
For my impression, you always have something to fear, Father. It seems. Keep your guard up.
Yes, of course. But what brings you back at this hour? Is something wrong?
No, nothing's wrong. We had a little bit of a meeting and want to recap with Ismark and Irina.
Oh, of course. Well, come in. I'll lock up behind you.
We also brought food.
Yeah, and we brought food. Bags of food.
Yeah, okay.
Chinese boxes.
Boxes, right. All right, well, he'll usher you all in, close the door, and he will lock it at this point because it is getting late. And brings you in, Ismark and Irina, as soon as the door opened, Ismark kind of jumped up and drew a weapon, kind of grabbed his sword, but seeing you all, he's kind of geared back down, but he's got his, is everything okay? How did your dinner go?
It was interesting, to say the least. We brought food. I don't know if you guys had eaten.
Yeah, no, they'll eat the food, absolutely.
I'll start passing it out while Calsolis is saying that.
Okay. They'll sit down in like two of the pews. The father is going to stay close as well. So, unless you direct him otherwise, he is in earshot.
No, we have that level of trust with him, right? I mean,
do we?
I don't know. That's.
You can't trust a preacher. Who can you trust?
Well,
I mean,
oh shit.
I mean, he's letting them stay here. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a great front if you're working for Strahd and trying to get her.
True. Under duress, who knows? Or we know that what's her face has eyes and ears somewhere too. So
Hey, Doug, have you ever explored this church? Like explored it?
There's an under section where the bones were being kept. The bones are now currently in the chapel. Or actually, he said he was going to put them in his office. You have not looked in all four of the rooms. There are basically 4 chambers that you can see. 2 of them are open. One looks like an office. One looks like a bedroom. That's likely his bedroom. There are 2 doors in the main hall that have not been opened yet at this point.
Wouldn't hurt to double check for like secret doors or tunnels that lead off somewhere out of the crypts and catacombs?
Certainly can if you would like to check or ask him. I'll leave that up to you. But right now, he's going to do all.
There's no crypts. Why would you ask? Don't look over there. Don't look behind door number 2.
But right now, he just kind of ushers you all into the main chapel. So if you're going to go somewhere else, let me know. Or if you're going to discuss this and you don't want him there, you need to let me know. Because otherwise, he will absolutely listen in. He's doing things. Like, he's not, like, listening, but he could definitely hear. He's...
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, Father, would you mind giving us a little privacy? Some of this conversation is probably not best heard for someone with your
religiousness.
Yeah, with your religiosity.
Oh, I see.
From one cleric to another.
I see. Well,
Get the stepping, boss.
I suppose
Close
that'll be
the
okay.
door.
I can go into my. I have some things to do in my office. I can take care of. I'll give you some privacy with them. Sure.
We wouldn't want to get you in trouble by hearing things that you maybe shouldn't hear as well.
He definitely seems a little concerned by this whole conversation, but
Yes,
I mean,
gosh.
you have absolutely helped him out, so you have brownie points right now at this point. Had this conversation happened without the bones, I think it would have gone very differently. However, I understand. Take your time. I'll go in my office. I have some things I can do. Please. And with that,
Bro, we're totally cool, but can you leave so that we can talk about stuff without you here? Bad vibes.
What it is.
I know you're technically in the party right now, but can you just like...
Sorry, dude.
Yeah, we gotta talk.
We gotta just figure stuff out.
He goes in his
Technically,
office.
I still believe he's one of the suspects that took the bones. Like, there were only 2 people who knew, and one of them is gone. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's still primary suspect.
No,
I'm not telling him that. I did tell him that, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did tell him that.
You did.
There's a door on the room we're in too, right? Can I close the door?
No, so
I think we're in the main area.
Yeah, once you go into the
right.
chapel, it looks very much like the Barovian chapel. So when you walk in, you basically have 4 doors right next to you, kind of right at the entrance. So one left, right, and then it goes into the main chapel. So he's in the first door
got it.
now.
Zora, why don't you go take a look around the other rooms while we recap our dinner for Ismark? See if you notice anything while the priest is...
Does anybody else not trust that lady, though?
I mean, I don't know that any of us trust her, but we can discuss next steps after we catch them up.
Okay. So you're going to take a quick peek. That'll take just a minute, and because there's only 2 other rooms. And then Darren, you're going to fill Ismark in. I mean, we don't have to RP the whole thing unless you're going to... If there's things you're going to edit, just let me know.
No, I think I'm pretty much, at this point, we all trust each other pretty well. I think I would recap everything she said and everything that I said to her, and kind of the vibes that we got, including her asking about them.
Okay, that was one of my questions. Okay,
Yep.
got it. So you start talking, Jeff. I'm going to start with you, Jeff, because there's not a lot here, and then you'll join the conversation, I assume. So basically, the 2 doors to the left when you walk in are the ones you could see. The first one was his office. Second one was a bedroom. That door is still open to his bedroom. That is where the bones currently are. They're under the bed. Yep.
Where I keep my bones.
Where I keep my money.
The office is closed now. There are 2 other doors on the right. The first one leads to, as you open it, is a very small chamber that looks like a little prayer sanctuary, like a little private sanctuary. It's very nice. It's well adorned. Again, this church is well kept up. But it looks like where somebody you could have like a private prayer time, or possibly there's 2 chairs in there, like possibly like almost like a confessional kind of vibe to it. Nothing of value or note. There are a couple of vials of water there that look similar to the holy water he gave you guys earlier. And then in the last room is another. It's basically just a storage room when you open it. However, there is a hatch that leads to a lower level.
I'm gonna go down and see what's down there.
Okay. You go down. Do you have night vision? You don't.
Not quite, I don't think.
No.
Do you?
He wasn't there for the.
Correct.
He wasn't there for the drink.
He wasn't there for the blessing. Do you want to take a torch down there with you? There is or a candle. There's candles throughout because the church is lit
Have
for
a candle
night.
for now.
Okay. The lower level is a closed-in, very similar to it's a small crypt. You can tell there's a handful of areas where bodies are stored, clearly like into the walls, like an old, where you can walk through kind of the main section. There's none just out on the floor or anything like that, but there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 bodies which look to be stored on either side, 3 on each wall. Otherwise, it's just a small little area. You see no rooms in or out. You can make an investigation check, though, for me, please.
I was going to ask for that because I wanted to make sure nothing looked untoward. Everything was wrapped up and old-looking, full of dust and whatnot, cobwebs. So, investigation. A natural 12. It's 14 total.
14 total. Yeah, it does not look like this area has been used. Your investigation tells you no one has been down here for some time. There's cobwebs and what have you. You get the impression it's not been used.
Don't detect any trapdoors or anything with that either?
Nope. With a 14, you do not detect any trapdoors.
Damn.
I'm not saying there is one. I'm just saying you don't detect one.
Your chuckle's giving it away, but okay.
Dude, hopefully the choir boy isn't like wandering around cleaning up, because you would scare the shit out of him.
Yeah.
All night, like, ah.
Has he touched
Coming out
me
of
too?
the
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And so Jeff doesn't miss this dialogue. So you do that, and that takes, again, no more than 2-3 minutes to kind of search through these rooms. And Darren, you go through the conversation. I will tell you, Jeff, and we're not going to RP the whole conversation out, but I will tell you, as you come back up and finish your search, you can hear the conversation has grown heated. So, Darren, as you're talking and explaining what's happening and everything, you can tell Ismark is very concerned by this whole conversation. So, Jeff, you come up pretty much right as you hear Ismark pretty much saying, "This is madness. We are. If she is a murderous woman, she can't go and just kill whoever she wants. You can't possibly trust her." That's what you hear.
Well, they sound awful lot alike, those two.
She's right with one thing, though. The Baron does not have control of the town. That much is obvious, and we've only been here for a day. I'm not saying it's justified for a total, execution and coup and this whole plan that she's going for, but I don't know. It seems like Valaki sits on the edge of a knife to me.
That I agree with that, but she could be working for Strahd herself. She'll just be another puppet for him. It sounds like she wants to placate him. At least Vargas defies the devil.
Yes, but his defile is not. It seems to be a show. It doesn't seem to be real, and it doesn't. He doesn't have any way to actually defend the city from Strahd if his, his stance is ever, if his bluff is called, and with you all here, that's not safe either.
We'll be safe enough here in this
not
church.
For long though. It's a leaky ship here.
He looks pretty distraught by this. This whole, you can tell he's immediately very resistant to this concept. My father knew Vargas. This cannot happen.
I understand none of this is tasteful. We are sharing this with you because we want to be honest with you and understanding what is happening in the city. But I think if you want to be safe and want Irina to be safe, we have to consider all of our options, tasteful or not.
Irina puts a hand on Ismark's shoulder. Brother, they are right. We just listen to them. I don't support this. She looks at you, Calsolis, when she says this. I would not support such a thing. But we owe these people our lives, and we must listen to at least what they have to say. Calm yourself. That seems to slow him down a little bit, but you can tell he's definitely not happy. But you've caught him up, so you guys can now discuss.
At this point, all we're telling you is what we've heard. No decisions have been made. We still have things we need to figure out.
We should warn Vargas. That's what we should do.
We should warn
Vargas and
don't do that.
Drag her out of her home.
There's no. Go ahead, Darren.
We don't know how many supporters she has, and that by doing that, you could incite something even worse in the streets. Whatever happens needs to be under the table. Needs to be low key. But going and telling him about her would not end well, probably for any of us. And there's also the fact that we know for sure that Strahd knows that we are here, which isn't a surprise since we essentially knew that from before, but we got a note from him personally at the inn. So if you are staying here, we need to consider all our options for making sure that this place is as safe as can be.
Not to mention the bones were stolen once. They'll disappear again.
Not under my watch, they won't.
You're only one man, Ismark.
And you have to sleep.
This whole cycle only ends when there's no more Strahd. And we need to consider every possible piece that could get us closer to removing him. And this is just one possible piece in that puzzle. We have 72 hours to decide whether it's worth the risk or not. But I mean, we definitely need to think about it because it could prove a way of exposing more of his vulnerability. I don't know yet. Like I said,
trading one desperate for another makes any difference, though.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that for sure. And I brought that up to her.
After those werewolves and getting the kids back.
Yeah, I brought that up to her at dinner too. I basically said like we don't want to take Strahd off his throne just to replace him with you. Like that doesn't help anybody.
I understand.
Trading Vargas for this innkeeper or getting rid of the major domo. No, he's not a nice guy, but is it our job to change the politics of this town, or is it our job to look after the ones who can't look after themselves?
Well, our job is neither. Our job is to
get
out of here. Potentially, I'm not a hero. To destroy Strahd and get out of this hellhole. And thing to consider is she is potentially a means to an end. And what she's offering is support in our fight against Strahd. That doesn't mean we have to leave her on the throne or even leave her here when we're done. Like, she's as useful as, once she ceases to be useful, then she ceases to be useful. There's a lot of moves we can make.
Ismark sits down finally, just frustrated.
At dinner, right before we were about to leave, I looked out of the window over the lake, and I saw purple lightning strike upwards towards the heavens. I think we should find the wizard. I think he could be a powerful tool. That seems like strong magic to me. Does anybody know what kind of magic that is? Look at all the magically attuned people in the room. I mean, that sounds strong, right?
I was getting lightning in all directions. They're making me, so I don't know.
Probably just lightning bolt.
Yeah,
no, like a purple reverse lightning bolt.
Yeah, I mean,
big one too.
Darren and Drew, I mean, you're both proficient in Arcana, so I mean that's not an entry level spell by any means. So it's definitely an advanced spell. Someone with pretty strong power for sure.
But we know he stood up to Strahd and survived, so we know that he's powerful. We also know that he's supposedly insane, so
that's why I was going to say survive. They said that he's broken now, like he's bananas.
That is what you were told.
Well, you don't defeat somebody with political power by killing them. That martyrs them. The way to do that is to disgrace them and make the people think they're insane and fall from grace, and then they're discredited. And then they're neutralized. So I wouldn't be so certain that this wizard is insane until we see that this wizard is insane. I don't trust Fiona any farther than I can throw her. And I really, given the limited power that she has, I can only imagine what she would be like if she had more. And we're emboldened. I will say this for Vargas, like, he may not be the best, but he has kept Strahd out of here. Like, I don't know if that's a fluke, but there is that. I'm not saying we side with Vargas and against Fiona, or if we try. I'm trying to think of a door number 3 here.
This place is. You said it right. Is a knife on an edge. He looks at you, Rivers. Maybe he looks at Irina. Maybe we should go to Krezk ourselves. He just says
I think we know that there isn't a safe place. Ultimately, there is no safe place while Strahd lives for Irina.
He'll be watching for our next move, also. Obviously.
Which brings us to our next move.
So what are we?
Who's got the cards? Lay out the cards.
I believe.
Have the cards.
Yeah, one of you has them.
Yeah. Lay out the cards.
So you lay out the 4 cards given to you by Madame Ava. And so, Jeff, you were not here for this, but just as a reminder, you would have been at least filled in a little bit. These cards represent destiny that this powerful seer has provided you that may provide tools in your hi kitty in your fight against Strahd. The first card, I will bring them back up real quick. Actually, I will make them visible in Foundry real quick, just so they're there. Hey, buddy. Where is my Curse of Strahd handouts? There they are.
Doug, I thought your cat hated you.
He does sometimes. You never know.
Well,
in general, like, I mean, while he's doing that, okay, nice.
Yeah, there they are. So there are 4 cards. One is called the Dictator. It says, the Tome of Secrets sleeps where stones tower and whispers ancient memories. Towers reach towards forgotten skies, but not all towers hold what you seek. Walls that have witnessed darkness guard the knowledge. Remember, not all towers reach for the sky. Some crouch in the shadows. It waits in a place of stone. Seek ye the Monkey Man. And so I'll remind you guys, the card themselves and the crazy phrases all are hints towards different things. This card represents the tome or the diary of Strahd. The second card refers to a weapon. The card is the Avenger. It says the brother's heart is a landscape. Follow its contours. The blade you seek is not a weapon of metal, but one of memory. It waits where light becomes eternal, where sorrow and memories linger. Not all prisoners are made of stone. Some are crafted of grief, of memory. The spaces between what is lost and what might be found. The blade sleeps with the dragon of stone. Follow the brother's tears. And then finally, then the traitor is the third card. Much simpler, says, not all allies wear human shapes. Some wear moonlight. Like a second skin, your path crosses where hunger and purpose become one. Seek the one who remembers when revenge was a language spoken in blood. The fourth card, that refers to an ally that will support you in your battle against Strahd. The fourth card is the Illusionist, and she never got to read that card, give you anything. She just said, seek ye the fallen angel, and then she was killed. Arg. So those are the 4 cards.
Arg, just
From the back of the
we're
throat.
confident. As for what we know now, like, we're confident that the Avenger, the weapon card is, like, we would assume is that the Knights of the Dragon Ruin, right?
Yes, that was my thought as well.
Yeah,
Which is south of Lackey.
South of Lackey.
It's directly south of Lackey. Probably half a day.
What'd you say, Jeff?
What makes you think that?
The blade sleeps with the dragon of stone, which is the description of the castle. It's the castle of the Order of the Silver Dragon.
Yep, there is a castle called Argynvostholt that you learned about from Ismark, where a group of knights that were led by a dragon used to fight against Strahd or stood up to him. They were wiped out. The dragon was killed. His head was cut off and taken back to Castle Ravenloft. But yes, so there is a reference to dragon in that place. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, it's not the most surefire connection, but it's relatively solid.
It's the most, yeah. It, like, seems to be a direct. And then we also know that card 1 is the diary.
The diary,
yep.
Right?
Yep.
And that, yeah, go ahead.
I had a couple ideas, and I don't know if, I don't know if I can roll to solidify them, but I had 2 thoughts as I'm getting set. So as I'm thinking about this, thinking about the clues in this, based on what we know, I feel like it could point to the wizard, potentially. I also feel like it could point to Vargas and his major domo, thinking about the dictator and his squat little major domo. I don't know, though. Those were the only things that really jumped out at me, but I don't know if there's anything that my character would catch that I'm missing, Doug, on that.
I mean, I'm not going to make you roll. I mean, just listening to that, I don't know where you got to wizard. I would definitely assume, or could assume, dictator could refer to Vargas. He's been kind of described as a little bit of a dictator by Fiona. Fiona kind of wants to be a dictator, so there's definitely. I'm not saying that's right, but I could see that your character could make a leap that if the card is directing towards a person, that's the only dictator you've met at this point.
What about the connection with Strahd's? What about the connection with Strahd's brother? Didn't one
sword.
Wasn't...
That's the sword.
Oh, is that the sword? Okay, all right. Never mind. It wasn't.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm making up a connection to a diary with some situation with that. But the wizard, I was assuming, could be represented by number 4.
Fallen angel.
The fallen angel.
I would say, listening to Drew, and again, I'm not saying this is accurate, but Drew made an interesting assumption there. You know, the illusionist is his madness an illusion left? I mean, I could make that leap.
Yeah.
I was actually.
I'm also
big time behind that.
also thinking that, like, just reading over the card number 2, that the weapon we seek is like actual knowledge from a fight with Strahd.
From his
Something
brother.
that, like, something those guys learned about Strahd that we can, like, utilize or leverage.
And I forgot to say it. Card 4 refers to an artifact, she told you, just so we're clear.
Oh, okay.
Some sort of an artifact that will have power. She referred to it as a powerful artifact.
Card 2 was specifically a weapon. It was this, like, we confirmed that it was the sword somewhere.
Yeah, you did. I can't remember who, but you did have a dialogue. I think it was from the Father Lucian, if I remember correctly. That Ava had referred to it was him or it was Fiona, one of the two, that Strahd's brother had a weapon. Sword of Light. Yep, that's right.
Yeah. And I'm assuming the brother's tears are Strahd's brothers, or Strahd's brother.
Yes. Yeah.
That's kind of where my brain is going right now.
Yeah. His weapon hidden at the castle of the Silver Dragon is how I am interpreting that. For number 3, I'm going to go out on a leap and say that I feel like that is a werewolf.
Yeah, I agree.
And that potentially the leader of an enclave of werewolves, potentially. Possibly someone who was betrayed by Strahd.
Yeah, like more connected to Barovia itself than to Strahd, kind of like good allegiance.
Would Roderick be able to tell when I can't think of when Lysander casts a spell, like because you told that werewolf essentially to bounce, right?
You did?
Lysander did,
Yeah. Well, yeah. I told him it was cool. I said no, it was cool.
Okay,
like, no, we can go by. It's cool.
Yeah, he didn't leave. He waited. He pulled another one.
Yeah, it definitely seems like that guy is only working because I don't know, like that very well could be the case. He definitely seemed like wait a minute, if these guys aren't just gonna flat out kill me, maybe I'll give them, I don't know, it did seem like that could be something with the traitor.
I'm gonna remind you of a hint, since you went there. I wasn't gonna give any hints really, but I will tell you, Pat, actually, since you brought it up, that werewolf didn't seem to even want to be there, and maybe that's what you were getting at. He made it clear, like, he was annoyed that he was even having to go look for Irina. So there was a little bit of maybe disgruntledness in that dialogue. I was trying to drop that hint in there during the dialogue. But as you say that out loud, there was a frustration maybe for working for Strahd or having to be an errand. He kind of referred to it as being an errand boy. There was something there. I will say absolutely.
That might definitely be worth looking into. Yeah,
and we know that we've heard from the hunters and like just general conversation with people that there's there's like wolf caves. We know there's like a werewolf like enclave like you got like Darren was saying, like some kind of a like actual pack like environment or settlement, right? I mean,
yes. Fiona told you that, and she said that there's an enclave. They keep a pack together. That's how they keep the pack, is they steal children and basically infect them with lycanthropy. It's an organized thing. For certain. Now, there may be other ones out there, but there is definitely some sort of an enclave that she referred to.
Yeah, but how do we find the one that we ran into before?
Well, that's a good question.
We kill them
maybe
all
that guy's
until we
still there.
get to him.
What's that?
I said maybe that guy's still there.
Yeah, that's just waiting in
Maybe
the
he'll find us. He's got our scent.
He was hunting you.
I mean, Strahd doesn't seem like the type of guy to, like, you know, you show up, you're like, yeah, I waited there for like 2 hours, and then I saw them, and then they, you know, said something fucked up, and I like lost track, and they were in the city, and I left and came back. I don't think that would fly over well.
So
we have two directions for sure that we can investigate, right? We can go to the castle of the Silver Dragon. We can go look for the werewolf.
And the werewolf will take you towards the wizard, as a side note, because they're both north.
Yeah, I think we should go whether the wizard is connected with the fourth card or not. I think we should go there anyways. Obviously.
True. I mean, if he's not crazy, he could be a potential other ally.
Worst case, he incinerates us, and we don't have to worry about Barovia anymore.
It's true. Unless we come back.
Doug, are there any like religious ladies around?
Religious ladies. Tell me more.
Like nuns or clergy or anything like that we've seen?
You have not seen. I mean, at this point, you've been to this church 3 times today. You have seen the priest, his altar boy, and he had a groundskeeper who has disappeared. The altar boy has not been seen this evening. He sent him home after the first stop because you wanted to talk privately. Great. That's the only staff you've seen.
Cool. I have an idea. Assuming that Strahd doesn't have any sort of magical means to track Irina, and that all of his information comes from agents, I wonder if we could disguise Irina as either the altar boy or a groundskeeper. I would use disguise self to look like Irina. We leave, and it looks like Irina has left this place.
Yeah, you definitely talked about that before. That was definitely on your idea list a couple nights ago. As far as when
I'm just thinking about like where to stash, but where and how to stash Irina in a way that she's not like, oh, there's a woman living in the church now.
Well, if you remember, my idea was that we go to the Vistani camp with you disguised as Irina and essentially talk about us leaving. So that they reported that back, and then essentially we just need Irina to stay out of sight, essentially.
Right. I think I just want to figure out how we get Irina to stay out of sight. Like, is it we?
Well, her room's in the church. There's a bedroom, right? Like, tell the priest that she can have the bedroom, and like,
she'll pipe up. Yeah,
we've wandering.
They've discussed this while you were gone. I mean, during services, she's going to stay hidden in one of the rooms. There's rarely people here. You've been here for a couple of hours, and you've not seen anyone. There's one service a day, pretty much.
I would say dress her up in some sort of nunly clothes, so that when she is out, out in the main area, she doesn't look, like have her in disguise.
Sure.
I think that's
what he's saying though, because there's no nuns here, so a nun would stick out.
I was thinking like we could do a bit of Arya Stark and dress her up as a boy, or dress her up as a grizzled groundskeeper.
She'll support a disguise. I mean, they'll support that. They've already been discussing that, so you guys can disguise her. They don't have to.
They're short a groundskeeper now. It won't be hard to explain them needing a new one, or some sort of explanation of who she is.
Yeah.
So
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's still a good bet to throw the scent off.
Turns out he's a thief, and guy's probably fired for sure.
I do wonder if, and this was a thought that I had, won't work tonight since they're not there, but since there are still a lot of questions about Fiona, if we don't do something similar and have next time they're at the bar, sidle up to them in disguise as well, and maybe learn something about Mommy Dearest from the Sons.
Not a bad idea. Get them, they'll be liquored up, so, that'd be easy.
Your disguise self only works on yourself, right? You can't cast it on somebody else.
I can't cast on somebody else.
That's
for him to
so
spill
I could do it, but I can't exactly cover up who they know who I am. It's going to be really hard to hide that.
I mean, you don't know what they're into.
Oh, I know, but they'll know who I am is the issue, potentially.
Sure. I mean, maybe it would make sense to have Roderick go up there. I don't know.
It's true. We don't know.
So I'm going to somewhat steer the conversation just for a moment here, and just hearing all these conversations. You have the 4 cards. You have some two clues. Sounds like you feel relatively confident about, is what I'm hearing. One that you're iffy on, and then one that's also iffy. So two strong inclinations, 2 iffy inclinations. You've got the Fiona offer, which needs to be discussed. What are we thinking? What's the next move?
Well, I don't feel like we can head towards either of these cards situations while the Fiona situation is still in the air, because we don't know how long we'll be gone.
Well, remember, distances. This is a small map, so I will be clear. You can get to Argynvostholt in probably an hour, maybe 2.
To where?
Need it to the night, the Argynvostholt, the Knights
castle
of the Silver Dragon is. I will put it on. I've got the map showing, Darren. Just for your own, I'll put. There it is. I highlight it where it is. So it's literally, if you're looking at the map, right around the corner.
I do feel like. I do feel like with that is kind of kicking. It might be kicking the hornet's nest a little bit more than going north first. In terms of spurring Strahd into action, I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing.
You have to get across the lake though to do that.
That is true.
Either way, I feel like we need to have an idea of what we're planning on doing here.
You think the traitor is the werewolf?
All signs based on the wording of the card points to a werewolf. Yes.
What is he betraying then? Who's he the traitor for?
Strahd.
Betraying Strahd by joining us. The traitor card was said to be an ally for us. Okay. So if it's a werewolf, he would be a traitor to Strahd.
Boost your numbers before you go into any battle.
What's that?
Never hurts to boost your numbers before you go into a battle.
Yeah, gather your allies.
I mean, I feel like we could probably win over the werewolves if we found a bunch of bones, like a graveyard.
Your boy.
We do have bones, but we need those bones.
Well, not those bones. Yeah.
It'll be
we need a lot of them. We need a.
It'll be a little tough for some of us here, look at Roderick, to forget some past grievances with werewolves, especially. Not that we haven't all been through the gamut.
You also only have one silver weapon right now.
I'm certainly not a fan of walking into the wolves' den, but it's if we could lure. Oh, do we have 2?
2 silver weapons.
two silver weapons.
Two wolves.
Two? What's the second one?
No.
The knife.
Yeah.
What's that?
The knife you gave me from the note on the door.
The butter knife. Okay, got it.
Silver dagger.
Sure.
We also have some money now, don't we? We could go. We could go back to that curiosity shop, snag something.
I don't think we have enough money for any. I don't think we have anywhere near enough money to buy anything.
Do we not? I can't remember.
I thought we got a big old honk of money.
It was. If I remember the prices that Doug quoted, they were pretty insane.
They were nuts.
You may need to pick up some. Yeah, you don't have to follow the main plot. You can pick up side work. You know, there is money.
We could rob the curiosity shop. Yeah, that is. I was gonna bring that up earlier. We could try to solve the. The orphanage issue likely leads us to the werewolves. We could try to solve the wine issue.
The wine issue, I was thinking, depending on what we decide with Fiona, gives us a potential chance to have a one-on-one conversation with Isaac. So if we wanted to kind of get him based on his interactions at the inn, that would be a way to lure him out. So I would want to hold that potentially until we decide what we're doing there. I also wonder, should we try to find some way to meet with Vargas to see the other side? Like, with that, I wonder if that would quell some of our questions. And
that's true. We do only have like Fiona's take, that her daughter is imprisoned and cursed, and this Gentry fella is in chains and whatnot. I mean, everything I've seen in the square leads me to believe that this guy is like, not opposed to punishment, but it's not like he's got a guillotine in the town square.
That's true.
We could all end up in stocks with jackass masks too.
True.
I mean, yeah, cruel and unusual, humiliating, but like not like like I said, death. So
lots of choices. That's why the episode is called Choices. What's it going to be though? I don't want to spend the whole. I mean, you can spend as much as you want. I have nothing planned because I didn't know what you guys were going to do. So, but I do want to make sure we keep chugging along here. So if there's,
I feel like for any decision we make that involves leaving, we should go for the wolves first, because one, like Lysander said, or somebody said, having more allies is not a bad thing. Plus, if we can make our travels easier by having less things hunting us while we're out, it'll make everything else slightly easier. We don't know how many wolves, like if he might bring with him. Obviously, he wasn't alone when we ran into him. So I don't know that needs to be the first thing, but I feel like that should be the first thing.
Ismark will remind you that the woods are filled with wolves and werewolves. I mean, it is not a small number. Traveling north of the lake towards Mount Baratok, which is where she said they were, and she didn't say where, so there's miles of mountainside there, will be dangerous. The woods are probably the most dangerous part of Barovia, next to Castle Ravenloft. And I think Ismark would remind you of that. Traveling into the woods is a dangerous proposition.
Doug, do you have the winery location?
No, because you don't actually know where it is exactly, but I will go ahead and put it on there, just because you generally know where it is. If you look at Krezik and go straight down, you'll see it. It's a building surrounded by what looks like crops. Yeah. It's right here.
Yep,
I'll add a little note for it.
Where,
since you kind of...
What I would suggest is we go to the Order of the Silver Dragon first, and then make our way toward the winery. So we leave town under the impression, under the illusion that we're going to the winery, and we kind of make a slight diversion to the Order of the Silver Dragon on our way.
Should we use that as leverage to try to meet with Vargas first? I feel like we shouldn't let the wine start flowing until we know how we want to use that piece of leverage.
Roderick gets big eyes.
You have
I
have an
think
idea,
that
Roderick?
I think that what
just,
do you have an idea, Pat? I'm sorry, I didn't make
no. Sorry.
All right. I think that, like, yeah, solving the wine problem, whether it is going to be, will lead to a meeting with Vargas, regardless of whether or not we meet with him beforehand or after. I think it will be a lot easier to meet with him after, and I think that he will be in a much more agreeable and less suspicious mindset if we already do them a solid as an act of good faith.
True, but then we lose a potential leverage if we decide to go the other direction.
You mean kill him?
Unless you just want to storm the... Well, I mean,
no. What I'm saying is, yeah. Well, I think what I'm getting at here is we go and solve the wine problem. Vargas is really elated. He greets us, meets us, and if we want to kill him for Fiona, that's how we do it. At that moment,
we don't have to kill Vargas unless we decide that we want to just do that for her.
I'm pretty sure we got to kill Vargas. I mean, I don't.
That's where it certainly. She made it clear he wasn't going to survive this, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, but she said she would handle that.
She did.
Just saying, like that was not.
That is a distinction with very little difference.
Either which way, either we put a ball gag in his mouth or we put a dagger in his back. I mean, I think that meeting happens from solving the wine problem and getting an audience with him that way.
Okay.
All right.
Just my thought.
Drew has proposed going to the dragon place first, and then the winery. Is that what I heard?
Yep.
The official first proposal is on the deck. Okay.
We would need to be fairly quick.
Yeah, it's 2 miles away.
Proposing.
I counted. It's 2 miles
away.
Well,
the winery is farther away.
The winery
is far away. From the winery.
Each of these are a quarter of a mile each hex, so I'll add them up real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And I believe Fiona did say we had like 3 days, right?
Yeah.
Yes, but we also need to come back and try to have a meeting with Vargas before that 3 days is up too. What you're proposing. So
if we do like start the flow of wine again and we show up with a crate of the wine that they're not having, I imagine we'll probably get canceled pretty quick.
Right, it's the time frame is what I'm considering.
I think we should hold on our Argenbusthold.
What's that?
Argenbusthold. The Dragon Castle. I don't think we should go there yet. I think we should wait on that until later. And if anything, let's go scope out the winery. We could see what the issue even is. If it's visible, if it's, we'll probably be able to ascertain what's going on. Plan around that, as in like if something's there that we need to kill, the wine just starts flowing back. I mean, we'll probably have a little bit of control over like sort of when things start and stop if we're gonna go solve the problem itself. But I agree with the sentiment, like we should know kinda at least what we're gonna do before, like as we do that. But my main point, I guess, is I'm fine with like scouting out Argynvost but like I said, I think that I think really getting in there and sort of knocking the dust off of that place might spur Strahd into a little like preemptive action. Maybe not, but
the only other item that's not on the map, I'm just going to remind you, I want to have all your options on the table, is you were told that wherever Strahd made his pact is a place called the Amber Temple. Ava told you that. And you don't know where it is, so that's why it's not on the map, but you do know it's somewhere near Mount Gacchus, so it's very, very far south.
Is that even on the map?
Nope. Gacchus? Mount Gacchus is. Yeah, it's the mountain directly south of Vallaki.
It's underneath the thing. Okay.
We know Fiona said that she has some troops of some sort, but we don't know what the numbers are. We know that Vargas has his major domo and his militia or his guards.
About
we don't really know
guards.
Their numbers either.
Well, you know there's about 30 guards. I do believe she told you that.
Okay.
She said about 30, and she said probably about half are loyal to her, roughly.
Either way, we're outnumbered. I still think we should get the werewolves on our side first.
Well, we don't know how many werewolves it is.
We know we can make more.
One.
Well, what about we just encountered those ones coming up to Vallaki though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We encountered ones on the way and
on the road east of Vallaki, I think.
Yeah. Like just right before we got here, those are the ones that Drew was like, it's not worth it, and they were the ones that seemed very unconvinced of we didn't really even want to be doing this. What did they run in a specific direction when they bounced off? Like
they didn't run.
It wasn't those. It was the one that we ran into on the way to the bones.
No.
That we did that. Wasn't it?
No. Those were just random wolves in the woods that attacked you guys. That seemed to be.
There was a werewolf there too, wasn't it?
No, there was not. There was no werewolf there. The only werewolf you've seen is the one in Barovia.
Sorry. Okay.
There was one in the Barovia house, which ran off. And then possibly the same one, you don't really know, that there was one outside of Vallaki, just to the east of Vallaki. Now, Pat, it did not bounce anywhere. It just... Drew told it to let you guys pass, and you guys left. So...
Oh, and we were the ones that left, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was probably 2 miles down the road, at most.
Yeah.
I'm less concerned with finding the werewolf than like how we're gonna talk our way out of a real nasty situation.
Werewolves are pretty ferocious. They don't chit chat a lot.
Like we almost.
I think you would know that as a hunter that has hunted werewolves, Rivers. That just walking into their enclave could be a death sentence, especially if not prepared. And you guys do not have enough weapons. You only have one silver.
It's almost like we would need like a bargaining chip for them, like to be prepared for leverage, before we just like went to talk to the werewolves.
To be clear, the card says traitor, not traitors. We don't know that the entire enclave is up for debate. Yeah. It's a
she referred to it as an ally. Ava said ally.
An ally. So he could potentially rally more if we can, that would, I think, be up to him. But I do not think we should wander into an enclave of werewolves. Right. We need to find the one.
Werewolves.
So, we can wander back down the road. What's that?
I was gonna say I don't think the werewolves are gonna join us. I think we need to find a bargaining chip to get us a seat at the table with the werewolves. And I think that bargaining chip is probably going to be something along the lines of, we know how to kill Strahd and get rid of him and liberate you. We don't have that yet.
We can offer you
clearing their name of. It seems like they're the ones that are stealing kids, but I'm still not wholly convinced that they're the ones that are actually taking the kids. They're probably the ones that they're putting in the bottles of wine. The supply of kids stopped flowing, so the wine stopped flowing.
We can offer them a steady supply of children.
Yes. Yeah.
This just got real dark.
The darkness.
You offer me.
Heart came.
So the winery. I mean, we can get to the winery within a day, certainly.
It was 7 miles. So yeah, 7 miles is what I counted on the road as the crow or along the road. It's about a 7-mile trip. So yeah, a couple of hours. I mean, you can walk 2-3 miles an hour. I mean, so yeah, you could be there in half a day. 4 hours, easy. Could be an Argivest in 2, winery in about 4.
I mean, Argivest is on the way to the winery. We could just kind of do a quick, gallop by. We don't have to go in.
That's true.
Yeah, we could do that.
Just case the place, see if it's there's a bunch of knights, milling around there, or if they've got siege engines, or if it looks like it's deserted.
They were wiped out. So there's
the description and the name and everything. I'm just imagining like an Elden Ring late game level that is just like we're gonna get there and be like, oh, we're not supposed to be here yet. There's like a gigantic fucking knight outside of the gate. Like, oh no, we'll come back later. But no, I agree in general. Like I think that's a pretty solid idea. Like just basically swoop by it, and see what we see, and then go to the winery.
Anything we do is going to piss off Strahd. So
yeah,
I don't know that we can be afraid of making a move. You know what I mean? Like, and he's already upset. So I feel like we're going to make moves. We need to make them.
Yeah, plus another powerful weapon wouldn't hurt us for sure. That'd be good in all the future endeavors that were all the way up to solving this whole problem. So
they're also
like Lysander said, if we want to approach the wolf, brandishing Strahd's brother's sword wouldn't hurt as a bargaining chip.
I also want to point out that we haven't discussed going to the ruins of Bards, that there might be information and things to glean there as well.
It's true. But now we're running into a lot of things to do. We're on the clock.
Right. So
no.
Split the party up, I was going to say, yeah.
That's a death sentence in Barovia.
Yeah, I could go wrong.
Make sure you bring another character next week too.
I mean, you might as well just say Storm Castle Ravenloft and let's just get on with it.
I'm in favor of that plan. Rivers will, basically cast his vote in.
So the vote, go to the winery, drive by Argynvost hold. See if there's a giant fucking Gundam with bazookas for arms outside, and then go back to Vallaki, correct?
Oh, so we're gonna go to the winery first?
Is that we're gonna ride by the hold first and just kind of give it a look, see, check it out, and then maybe come back there on the way, or But the idea was to go to the Wizard of the Winery first.
But via Argynvost hold. You want to drive by,
right?
Yeah. Go to the fort
we'll do drive by.
See what's up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Give it a look.
And I think we should keep the option open to go in, depending on what we find.
Sure. So if we go there and we go in and we get tied up and that's that, then I mean we can always come back to Vallaki.
Sure.
We've got 3 days. Assuming we don't get totally wiped out and all die in there, we can come back and rest if it takes a day or two. And then, worst case, we don't get to the winery and we have to address the civil war that's about to go down here, without that being solved, which is also possible. But, plus it'll give us another. Go ahead, yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say it'll just give us more time to mull over what we would want to do. Once
I do want to point out one possible third option, and just hear me out on this.
Back to Barovia.
If we turn the wine, if we solve the wine problem, that's going to get a lot of clout with the commons folks, we could probably overthrow both Fiona and Vargas.
This is not junta. This is not junta. You are not president.
I'm just saying. We could totally do that. We could totally create Vlaki as our own personal stronghold and begin to take over this place as the de facto
use
ruler.
The wine as the main means for take. I mean, it's
yep.
You
know who we could install as the head of Vlaki? And I look over at Ismark.
He does have a claim to some nobility. I never saw myself as a leader, not like father. But I still don't like the sound of hurting Baron Vargas. He is just doing what he thinks is best.
We don't necessarily have to hurt him. According to Fiona, right. All we have to do is take care of Isaac, and the cards will fall at that point. They don't have to fall in her favor if we don't want them to.
Whatever you think is
a dangerous game.
It is a dangerous game. A game of Valachian thrones.
True, but
makers.
If we want this place to be safe for Irina, with you as its leader, I don't see how it could be any safer.
He seems to think through that for a minute. Like you did not unconvince him. He's definitely considering what you've said.
Either way, I feel we should implement the other plan on the way, since we'll be heading west from Vlaki, and that's where Krezik is. So we should implement our ruse that the group, or at least that Irina, is leaving as we leave.
Sure. Yeah.
So we need to figure out what it is we're going to say to the encampment, or why we're going there.
I don't think we need to go into the encampment. We just need to go very obviously by them, or or in a way that, like, I don't know. I'm thinking about like the fly casual ranger.
Yeah, it's decently off of the main road. I mean, you'd have to go into it basically. I mean, they wouldn't notice you. Yeah. Outside of, I mean, that'd be tough.
Didn't Fiona say that she got wine from them?
Yep. Yeah, she did.
Thing?
Yeah. You could pass. You could pass messages through her. Yep. Potentially.
Well, I don't want to pass messages through her. I want to say that we met with her, and she made it sound like they might be able to get us wine, and all we have to do is ask. Whether we actually get it or not doesn't matter, and we can.
She said she uses.
We would like some traveling wine.
Yeah, she said she uses them to get food and wine outside of Barovia because they can leave, not necessarily the Barovian.
Right, wine. But there is no wine currently, any good wine here. So it's all I'm saying is we can just approach them that we heard that they might, have the good stuff, and inquire, since we're about to travel to Krezik, that we would like to have some traveling wine. Doesn't matter if they actually have it or not.
Just to set the stage. I got it.
And then,
okay.
And then we can head out from there.
Okay.
We could also ask about our friend Casimir while we're there too.
He went to the other Vistani camp, so
right.
And remember, it's only been 6 hours.
That's some way to communicate.
Maybe.
Trust me. All Vistani know.
Do we have a plan? I'm gonna. It sounds like a plan maybe has been formed here. I hear leaving, stopping by the Vistani, getting them to believe that she's leaving to Krezik, and then you're going to go to Argynvostholt, then the winery. Is what I think I'm hearing.
Yes. And just to throw this out, not as necessarily a change of plans, but just to throw this out. We do have this, and I pull out the crystal ball. We still have Madame Ava's summoning tool, whatever, her arcane focus. And I feel like we might be able to reach her with this.
Well, if you have like a speak with the dead kind of spell in there, I would say go for it.
I have something similar that I wanted to try, but I don't know exactly what to ask. I don't know how many times we'd be able to use it, so I don't know what exactly we want to ask. But I do think that is something we should keep in mind.
Okay.
Especially for potential clarity of the fourth card.
I mean, if we can only ask yes or no questions, it could just be, are we on the right path?
I don't know. I don't know what it will look like.
Okay.
So I'm just throwing it out there that it is an option that we can try at some point.
If we're stuck, we could also just, ask it what it thinks we should do. I don't know. Like, I feel like we're pretty set.
Well, I don't mean to ask just the crystal ball, but I mean to try to summon her spirit using the crystal ball to speak with her. And I don't know if I'm able to do it, how many times I'd be able to do it, or how long I'd be able to hold that sort of connection.
Should do it in front of the Vistani, so we can at least try to clear our name.
I was just going to say that.
They don't necessarily know that she's dead yet, this one, anyway.
Yeah, not yet.
The other ones are going to give us the chance.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Casimir's trying to help you with. That's where he went.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I guess we'll find out when we're hailed with either hellos or, arrows.
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily something we have to do now, but I wanted to just make it known that is something another thing we can use as we are starting to navigate some of these things.
When we do summon her, or if we try to contact her, we really should make sure that there's a Vistani there if the Ava thing is not cleared up. Because that's an easy, we don't have to, we have her crystal ball. Yeah, it looks bad. Oh, she says even, oh gosh, actually that would look really bad if someone just didn't believe it. I don't know.
I don't know. It might not exonerate us as much as you might think it does.
Yeah. I don't know.
She could have been like,
ball.
Got stabbed. The end. That's all I know. I can't see behind me. I don't know what it looks like. Like, I just got stabbed to death.
Oh yeah, these guys definitely did it. I was reading their fortune and I did.
Yeah, anybody else in the tent?
Could go badly.
So we're talking about going to the Vistani camp on the way to Argynvostholt?
Yeah, it's literally right there.
Okay.
No.
And then just having...
It's right to the west. It's literally on the way.
Oh, okay.
If I was to pull up the Valaki
just for
map, you'll see it.
For the purpose of having them see Lysander disguised as Irina, right?
Right.
And us essentially say we're heading to Kresik. Yes.
Like, we're going to pop in there intentionally, be like, hey, what's up? We're heading to Kresik.
Yeah, with the ruse of trying to buy wine because Valaki doesn't have any wine.
Okay. All right.
And then...
It's down here where I'm highlighting in the map, just FYI.
Oh!
Where?
I got you.
The bottom left corner. It's literally on the way out of town, down a little side road.
Yeah. But they're also probably walking the road anyway. I mean, you never know. Might not have to go that far.
Possibly.
I mean, it's on the way. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, it's a quick trip.
Yeah. It's a couple hundred yards off the road.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
I think we have a
long
plan.
rest and then go do that.
Please long rest.
Okay. Any other conversation? Are we good? Do we have a plan? I think it sounds like we have a plan.
Are we staying here, or are we going back to the inn?
That's a good question.
Let's go back to the inn with the idea that we're not here.
So much subversion.
Before we, yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, we'll head back to the inn.
Okay. All right. Unless there's any objections, you may long rest.
Well, before we do, I want to make sure that's why I was.
Yeah.
So we're going back to the inn. Everybody's going to their rooms, or what's everybody?
Yeah,
doing?
I mean it's late. This is a long conversation, literally, both real time and figuratively.
Yeah.
So it's probably been a good solid hour and a half. It's now midnight, so the inn will be quiet and dark at this point. No one will be awake.
Okay. When we get back, I tell everybody that I will be stopping by their room before they sleep.
Okay. Like the little tooth fairy you are, giving everybody night vision. The night vision fairy.
That's right. The night vision fairy.
Okay. So so you guys are going to head back to the inn. There are 2 bedrooms that you guys rented. Technically 3 because they're not using theirs. So one has 4 beds in it, and then 2 have 2 beds in it. And then one room is a private room that is currently occupied, you were told. I
know Lysander and I were in the room with 2, I believe.
Yep. Yeah. So you guys can decide. I'm giving you the long rest, so it doesn't really matter what rooms you're in. We don't need to argue about it. So you got the long rest, and the night will go. Darren will bring you a drink. You all will have night vision if you take a drink. If someone doesn't want to drink it, that's up to you. But otherwise, you will have night vision for 24 hours again.
Jeff wasn't aware of that, but essentially, I bring you a cup of green liquid and tell you to take a sip, and doing so gives you night vision for 24 hours.
Cool, thank you.
All right. So the night carries on without anything happening. No dreams, no visions, no anything special. A long rest, finally, the second of our 12 episodes. The group
feeling so fresh.
finally is able to sleep. The next morning,
but
yeah, if you sleep, but you get the rest regardless. The night carries on without anything occurring. It does rain. By the time you get back to the inn, it is pouring that night. Thunderstorms roll through, and it is a long, long, rainy night that helps you sleep. When you guys come to, what is the plan? Do you want to have? Are you going to have breakfast here? Or what do you want to do? Do you want to eat at the end? It does come with 1 meal a day as part of your rooms.
We're leaving Ismark and Irina here, right? Ismark's not coming with us.
Correct. He's staying at the church. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I would say we eat here since we're going to be on the road.
You're going to eat here? You're going to just eat here at the inn?
Yeah. And while we're are we gonna eat in the common room?
Yeah, you'd have to. The rooms are pretty much just a bed.
Okay, cool. Well, so while we're eating, I'm going to take some time to tell everybody a story about how when Rivers felled his first tree, he was nothing but a young pup up in the northern villages, and his da took him into the deep woods and taught him how to swing an axe and fell a tree, and he drug the tree with straps. With ropes, tens of miles. Rivers is very elaborative and hand gestures, and he ends up like spilling stuff in his tongue. And so he ended up taking the tree back to Alphas with his da, and they split it and used it to help build a long canoe that they used in the lake nearby for fishing. And it taught him resilience, and it taught him some of the values of hard work at a very young age, and it also taught him that even if you take something away that nature will always put it back when you give it enough time. And so everybody with that should take
I was wondering if you're going to role play the entire 10-minute.
No, just the summary. Just the summary. I'll spare you. I think that's eight temporary HP. It's your character level plus the modifier of the ability you increase with this feat, which is wisdom for me, which is a +3. So yeah, 8 temporary hit points.
8 temp hit points. Everybody takes. Okay, so you're telling us. Right, I was wondering where this was going, but I'm fine. That's good. So you tell this story.
I was just wondering if it was going to take the full 10 minutes.
No, thankfully not. Next time I'll start a timer. No. You have breakfast. The inn is quiet in the morning. Nobody there. Just you guys having breakfast. They wait on you though and get you food. It's the husband and his wife are back there again. Two of the kids are there playing in the bar area. But there's nobody else there. The other room stays closed. You never see anybody come out of it. The last room. And while you're eating, and after Ethan finishes his story, someone does come into the tavern. As you're finishing your meal, from the front door, you hear bootsteps, and then the doors open. In walks a human male. Looks to be in his late 30s, maybe early 40s, hard to tell. Short blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, wearing what looks to be a dark brown suit. Looks like a nice suit. Looks well to do, with a little bit of a half cape off of it with a gold chain around it. Comes into the bar. Irwin just kind of nods. Good morning, Mr. Holtz. Good morning. I've seen you in here for some time. Sit anywhere. We'll be right with you. No food for me. I am looking for. Yes. He sees the table of you all and makes his way over. And he just strolls over to your table. Good morning. And he gives a slight bow. Not like a full bow, but like a casual, gesture of respect.
I'm gonna let Rivers run this one. I look up at him and I just go back to
good morning.
Like this weird look, and I go back to just eating.
Gesture to an open seat at the table. Please sit. Join us.
He will. He'll sit down. He'll open. Thank you for the kind invitation. My name is Vasily von Holtz. It is nice to meet you.
It's a mighty fancy sounding name. I'm Rivers from the north. These are my traveling companions. Go quickly hit everybody's name.
You
all go around the table and say like their names and something about ourselves.
Yeah.
No.
He takes you all in as you're introducing, and one of the things, Jeff's a fright, and I'm just gonna say it. And
we're not very good at it.
And Darren and obviously, Darren and Drew usually get pretty rough reactions from most folks. You see as you go through them, he just nods at them. He has zero reaction to them, as far as being odd. Thank you for the kind invitation, my travelers.
Of course. What can we do for you? You seem to have come here looking specifically for us. We're certainly.
I have. There are rumors spread through town quickly in a town this size, and I heard we had some out of town guests here. He looks at you all, and I'm not disappointed by what I see. I am looking for some, how shall you say, effective mercenary work. someone who is, that's not the word I'm looking for. It was not effective. Good lord.
I'm looking for somebody, as you say, murders people for money.
Yes. Looking for someone competent. I'm looking for a competent folks that are capable of many things.
Seems there's plenty of mercenary work that needs doing in Barovia, no doubt.
I can see why you had a hard time finding people with a job description like that.
Yeah.
I'm looking not for someone local, someone that has traveled the wilderness of Barovia and has survived.
Somebody expendable?
He looks at you when you say that. You actually almost get a grin from him when you say that. No, not expendable. Capable. But I heard you had come from my old homestead of Ravenspire. And I am looking for some assistance.
Literally chewing out of the side of my mouth. Assistance with what? And just keep eating.
Well, I have a shipment that was en route from Krezik. It was supposed to be here yesterday. It has not arrived. I need someone to go and investigate what happened. Bring it back if possible. I will pay handsomely for the goods to be returned.
And you?
What, where, and how much?
1,000 gold coins.
Who's transporting it? Was
just two men that were coming from Krezik. They were coming from Krezik along the northern road. At least that's the path they were supposed to take. They should have been here by last night. They did not arrive. He'll give you a description of them. Two humans. They sound like mercenaries or hunters based on his description. They are normally quite capable. They make runs from Krezik to Vallaki frequently. This is odd that they have not arrived. The
what were
goods
they transporting?
are a number of things from Barovia that is important to me. Some
children?
Items. No, children, no, of course not. Some effects of a personal nature, as well as some foodstuffs and some wine from Krezik. We have been a little short here. I'm sure you'd have heard. He looks well-to-do from his...
Did you say Ravenspire?
Yes. Well, you've probably heard of it as Barovia. You know that Barovia, the original name was Ravenspire, before Strahd came. That was what was in the original. The original note was, the village of Ravenspire.
Ravenspire. What was? Sorry. Go.
Oh, you said yes. You've probably heard of it as Barovia, but my family comes from this town. Well, there's not many of us left. A few of the families here hailed down from this region before Strahd came. So yes, I still refer to it as Ravenspire. It is before the devil came.
Strahd?
Devil. The
no,
devil.
Different
Strahd,
devil.
Yes.
Yes.
Devil. The devil Strahd.
I don't know. Wasn't sure if it was Vargas or
No, the devil Strahd. Yes, I still refer to it as Ravenspire. Many of us do that from Barovia before it became this hellhole. But I could use some help, and I'm looking for people that have. If you have survived the journey between Barovia and Vallaki, you are clearly capable travelers from beyond the Barovia region. I suspect you are able to handle yourself.
If your people were just traveling the road, why would they have been stopped? Like, what? What were they? Is it the shipment that would have caused? Like, what?
It is possible. Or I mean, I assume I don't need to tell you that Barovia is very dangerous. Even the roads are not safe. I mean, they are safer than the woods, but there are still creatures out there. I do not know.
We do have some we do have some errands that we're running. We've got a little bit of a busy and packed schedule here. If we I'm certainly not against helping you for payment, but I don't know if we can upseat everything we're working on.
He seems annoyed by that. You see him kind of gets a little... I'd be willing to pay up front, some up front, perhaps to entice you.
What is this stuff?
It is of a personal nature. Most of it.
Is it big? Is it heavy? Is it gonna take us? Are we gonna have a wagon? I mean, if you're gonna be playing the amateur game, price is gonna go up.
It is in a cart. You will need the cart. Yes.
Is the cart slow? Is it valuable? Are people gonna be gunning for it? Like, am I gonna have to fight off a bunch of people? Like, clearly you've already lost 2 guys.
Well, I hope not. But, yeah, I mean, it is valuable to me. That is why I'm willing to pay for it.
You said the North Road from Kresik?
Yes. Yeah. So up by the road that would lead up towards Lake Baratak on the map.
Yeah.
This road. That would be the North Road.
We've got some business out of town today. We'll look for your wagon. just tell them.
Look, we don't even know. I want to make sure we get paid appropriately for this.
Yeah.
So
half up front.
Ooh, I was thinking a smaller number, but half up front, I would expect it would be at the top of your to-do list.
We can make it on the way.
It won't be
we
at
can
the
make
top.
It our first stop.
The tippy top.
He looks at you. I mean, is it actually? Will it be on the top of your list, or is this a deception? Are you just saying that, or do I need to make an insight check on that, or is it, or will just be if you get around to it? He's definitely eyeing you.
Who are you asking? Who?
I guess Rivers, since Rivers said it'll be at the top of our list. Rivers, is it at the top of your list? If you take 500 gold from him?
It's tied for. I mean, it's on the way essentially. I also Rivers.
It's literally it's literally the opposite direction of your.
I thought he said in
between. It's up that way.
He said in between Kresik and Balaki.
Well, if you're going to Argynvostholt, that's the south road. North road is up here.
We can hit that on the way back.
It's west. We can do it.
We can do a circle. Yeah.
Right. We'll get it on the way back because we don't want to take the cart with us all the way to the winery.
I'll tell them we have business out of town. We can get you information or your goods back within the day. We'll get you your goods back. Yeah.
Okay, so for if you want 500 gold, I expect that it's the first stop you're going to make. Is that what you're agreeing to?
Yes.
It'll be our first stop, but since we don't know what's there, we can't promise that it'll be back right away. Until we know what we're looking at, we can't make any promises other than we will make it our first stop.
I understand. Okay, is that the truth, or do I need to insight check that?
Roderick,
I'm telling the truth. I also think that Rivers is debating, telling him that we're taking someone just to further sell the Irina ploy, but I think that's probably unnecessary.
That's up to you.
I don't think that's
first stop.
Okay, then he'll reach. If that's not a lie, then he will reach into his pocket and he will pull out of his little purse. He pulls out 2 stacks of coins, and he will hand them out. They look shiny and gold, and he'll slide them across the table.
Is it a lie? Who knows?
Don't put them in your pocket. Just hold them out in front of you as you walk across the strange antiquities.
I'm gonna add it to our total, and then at some point we can divvy it up or just spend from it.
I'll take the patch from him and hold out my hand to him. Handshake, half now, half later. We'll head straight there. What? Where will you be? Here at the inn?
Yes. Meet me here. Or I have a home on the north end of Vallaki. It's where the nicer homes were. Like Fiona's house was up in the northern kind of portion. I have a home there. I can give you my address. Either one is fine. Everyone in town knows me. It's not hard to find.
What's his name again?
His
Holtz.
name is Vasily von Holtz.
Vasily von Holtz. Well, any other details you can give us about where? Well, he already said where we're missing.
I don't know where it is. I know they were supposed to take the northern road, so that's all I can say.
Nothing else. No one in particular that was looking for the shipment.
No.
Any obvious threats?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Anyone know that it was coming? Like that they were going to be on the road?
He thinks about that for a second. We used messengers to speak between the villages, so I mean, yes, it is probable that someone in town, either here or there, would be aware of it. Yes.
Do you have any enemies
He thinks about that for a second.
specifically?
No threats against me, no. I wouldn't say I have any enemies. I have been a loyal servant of Vallaki for many, many years.
Okay.
Well,
Okay. So he'll hand you
see
the
what we can
$500.
see.
yeah. Toss the coin pouch up. Grab my hand. Pleasure doing business with you.
Yep, he'll shake your hand. He bows.
Doug, real quick, his coin purse, does it look like there's more in that coin purse?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We
Absolutely.
can renegotiate after we solve the case too, if need be.
I was thinking about just sleight of hand, taking it off of him. But...
Yep. He shakes your hand, Rivers, and looks at all of you and walks away. He'll head out.
All right. Well, now do we want to swoop through the curiosity shop real quick on the way out?
I mean, we can. We can walk by
I've
on the way
stocked
out.
up.
Yeah, I think that might be a smart idea.
Have some silvered
think it's
weapons
still-
for later.
I still think we can only afford one thing, but
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
I think-
yeah.
Darren, how much was in our?
Oh, we're at 1,000. A little over 1,000.
Okay.
How long does your disguise self last, Drew?
we'll look into that.
I can look it up if necessary. Disguise.
1 hour. That's the duration of 1 hour.
And how far outside of the town is the camp?
You
the
could
Vistani
be
camp?
there in a matter of, 20 minutes.
Minutes.
Yeah, less than 20.
What's
minutes.
that?
Less than 20 minutes.
Okay. So I say we go ahead and check out the shop, swing by the church, change clothes so that Irina is seen leaving, not just by the Vistani, but by anyone else who cares to look and watch her leave the church.
Right.
Sure.
And go that way.
Sure. And the beauty of disguise self is it affects my clothes too. I don't have to.
Yeah, I was just being facetious, changing clothes.
Okay.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Okay. All right. Well, then I assume we're going to head out of the inn. Anything else you want to do here before you head out?
Do you have anything, Jeff? Any thoughts or?
No, we're fine with the plan.
Okay. Then the group makes their way out of the inn and into the streets. It's a short walk to the other side of town, to the west side of town, where the Curiosity Shop is. It's right across the street from the church. You start making your way there. About 2 minutes into your walk, you see, you hear some movement kind of behind you, some like a ruckus a little bit on the streets, and you see you see Isaac and 2 guards have kind of moved through some of the crowd, and the streets are a little bit busier at this point in the morning. But you definitely see people kind of talking. You hear some commotion as the 3 of them kind of come down of a kind of a side street shortly behind you guys, and immediately turn towards the way you guys are headed. And you hear Isaac's voice call out, "Stop there!"
God.
You calling to us?
You just hear a voice that says, "Stop there."
All right. Yeah, I mean, I'll
Wheel on around.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll stop. I shouldn't run, I guess.
He's accompanied by 2 guards, one with slightly nicer looking studded leather. The other looks more of the traditional guards that you've seen around town. But he gets to about 30 feet from you all and stops. "You there, outsiders. Lord Vargas wishes to speak with you tomorrow."
It was that easy.
Sometimes it's not that as hard as you want to make it sound. "Wishes
Right
to
now?
speak with you tomorrow. I was on
God.
my..."
Thank goodness.
He looks like he's out of breath. I mean, he always sounds like he's out of breath, but he's coming from kind of generally the direction of where the, a side street that would have potentially connected to the tavern. "He wishes to speak with you tomorrow."
Poor dude's detoxing.
Speak to us about what?
He didn't say. I'm just delivering the message. Will you be there?
Where does he want to speak with us?
At his home for breakfast.
Does he normally send the major domo to deliver messages?
I do whatever is asked of me.
Setups?
Doesn't seem like you can do much else.
What?
I mean,
What?
Say anything. Look at my feet.
He said he was wondering why he wants us to meet tomorrow and not today.
He is busy today. He is a busy man.
I'm used to covering for Roderick at this point. It's like my second. It's like my second job.
Shall I tell him you will be in attendance?
That guy's gonna punch me later.
Right.
put my hand on his shoulder and on the major domos and just be like, tell him we'll think about it. And as I do, a wave of calm and friendship toward me and my friends comes over him.
What am I rolling?
Yeah, what is the DC save?
He does not seem very naturally friendly.
That's the idea.
Or athletic.
1 minute.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking. Magically sense friendship creature target blah blah blah. Target succeeds automatically if they're frightened. Where is it? Oh, it's a wisdom saving. Yeah, wisdom saving.
Wisdom save. I rolled a 3, so didn't really matter what the save was at that point. You step up to, and he gets very defensive when you start to step up towards him. Almost goes for his weapon. You see his hand drop down. Both guards kind of tuned up pretty quickly. You put your hand on his shoulder, and did you say something?
Yeah, I was just saying.
Yeah, you said, yeah, that's right.
Major Domo,
we'll think about it.
Just Major Domo, just let him know that we'll think about it.
He takes a belabored breath. Very well, I will inform him. Thank you.
He's right there on the top of the list with everybody else.
Yeah. buddy, we just fucking ain't got time. I can't commit to that right now. Maybe.
The day starts full.
I said maybe.
Hard maybe. Great save, Lysander. That is exactly what we needed to say.
It's a firm maybe. Yeah. We'll think about
maybe.
He takes that and annoyedly just, but calmly. But he just immediately steps back and takes the 2 guards. He kind of nods, and the 3 of them just march off.
And as soon as he does, I nod we got to move because that doesn't last very long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we're turning, Rivers will look at Lysander and be like, "You sure do have a way with words, lad." Talking us out of situations.
That's why Ava called him the Silver Tongue, if you remember when he showed up.
3 or 4 now.
At least 3, I think.
I like that he's living up to that name. All right. They walk away. It lasts about a minute. So, I mean...
yeah, it's not long. Get moving.
Does that change any of your plans, or are you still going to go shopping?
I say we duck down a side street and kind of make our way...
Yeah. What were you saying, Jeff? We're talking over you. What were you saying?
Let's go shopping.
Thank you. Hopefully we don't have a long conversation with them. I can't keep that up for long.
Yeah.
I'm
sure Steven Krieger coming out of an eyed little girl, too.
We can hit the shop on the way back, unless you guys want to risk that.
No, we just take a side street, kind of duck down, get out of sight, and then...
Okay. Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, the only thing that bastard's going to chase down is a deli sandwich. Come on.
Yeah. All right. I'm not gonna RP the shopping because that'll just add time. So you can make it to the to the little shop. I will remind you what he had. It has not changed since yesterday. He has in his shop a rod with tentacles on it, an axe. An axe with a kind of a golden side to it that looks magical. Some very nice looking scale mail armor that looks to be made out of mithril. Again, in D&D, mithril is not the Lord of the Rings invincible armor. It just means no stealth modifier. He has a scimitar with a red streak through the front blade of it. And then he has a bag of dust and an ebony and ivory fly. That's about the size of a large marble. Those are the 6 random little items that he has.
Did we get any clarification on the magicness of any of them, or
no?
No, I think it was me. Wasn't it me and Zora in there? And we were just window shopping, Yeah. All right, well, can't afford any of those. See you.
Yeah, pretty much. They look magical. I mean, they look nice. Everything here, there's nothing that looks not magical. The bag of dust is a little iffy. Is it just a bag of dust, I suppose? But, yes, it all looks legitimately special.
Any of the weapons suit anybody? I guess is the easiest first and foremost.
There's 2 weapons, true weapons. The rod isn't going to be a weapon. Yeah, scimitar and an axe.
Is the axe a one-handed axe or
it's a battle axe? So it's a battle axe. So I believe you can use either. I think. You can do one.
You know what the rod does?
I think it's used for out of combat purposes.
Don't.
I'm saying.
I believe it was referred to like with the weird little tentacle, leathery tentacles. I believe Drew referred to it as like a BDSM.
It says Hitachi on the side.
Yeah.
I believe that was the inference that was made.
Even when you pick it up, it's kind of blurred out.
Yeah. Well, Roger could use the axe.
When we go in and the shopkeeper comes out, the magic weapons, specifically the weapons, I look at them and I said to the shopkeeper, like, tell me about these two weapons and spare me the tourist version. And I give him a look.
Well, he'll tell you this. I mean, all he can tell you. He actually doesn't really know what the stuff does. People sell him stuff from basically, as I think I told Ethan and Jeff, basically, people sell him stuff that they find off of dead adventurers out in the wilderness. He really doesn't know what most of it does. However, he will tell you he has no idea what the axe does, for sure. It looks nice. It's clearly mystical, but he doesn't know what it does. The sword, he has figured out, can be ignited on fire. He will tell you that.
Can we examine the weapons ourselves?
Sure. What are the prices?
The prices are, the rod is 500 gold, the axe and the scimitar are both 750. The mithril scale mail is 500. The bag of dust is 500 gold, and the ebony fly is 750 gold.
Some high-end dust there, boy.
Yes, it is.
It's like, I almost want to buy the dust, just keep it, and then when we fight Strahd, just fucking throw it at him.
Please do.
Was dust allergy real bad?
Yeah.
Hold on a second, I gotta prepare for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big bag of blow, that's right.
Alright, so the sword lights on fire, and the axe just has a golden side. It doesn't.
Yeah. He doesn't. He's not. Yeah, whatever it is, it's not obvious to him. Like unlike the sword, which is clearly does fire.
Take the rod and kind of shake it, or cast it, or see what I can do with it.
Yeah, you want to play around with the rod, sure. You play around with the rod, kind of holding it and what have you, and what you can get it to do is, and I will tell you that the 3 tentacles kind of come out. They look like they would grip something or grapple something. It's an entangling weapon. Yes, I rolled randomly for all of these when I rolled to see what he had.
I love it.
Well,
the ebony and ivory little miniature thing, the fly.
He has no idea. He's never been able to get it to work. It'll need to be identified in order to be used.
So while they're playing around, I lean on the counter, just kind of giving them this weird a look, and I'm. How much would it be worth to you to know what you're selling?
That would be nice. Are you I've not met many people that can identify magical things. Is that something you can do? Might be worth something to me. Yes.
What might it be worth to you?
Half off of one item.
Half off of one item.
And maybe if something is overpriced, maybe I would adjust it once I know exactly what it is. Maybe. But you could be lying, so probably just half off on one. If I believe it.
Well, doesn't feel like you trust me very much to tell you anything then.
I don't know you. To be fair. But you are an outsider, clearly. If you, yes, half. I would do half off of one item.
Okay. Do you have a back room someplace where I can study these items for a few minutes?
just my house. I mean, you can do anything you like here. There's no one else here. No one else could fit in here if you guys are all in this room. It's a tiny little shop. It's attached to his house.
Oh, okay. I look back at the group. What do you think?
I reach up and flip the sign from open to close and say, "Go ahead."
Yeah, essentially, yeah. We don't really want anyone walking in.
Yeah.
What do we want to? What do we want to? Which one are we interested in? How many of them? Like, I'm not going to identify everything.
Is it a spell slot for each one?
No, I would do it as a ritual spell.
You can identify. I mean, it can be all done. You don't have to wait, 60 minutes.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to do it once,
okay.
They're all together. I'm fine with doing one.
Okay.
Maybe it'll take a little longer. Maybe like 15 minutes instead of 10. But
okay,
yeah, you can. It's fine.
Okay. So then, yeah, I'll just kind of like tell everybody to clear out and just kind of make a little space on the floor.
Okay. Sure.
And essentially, Roderick will realize that essentially I start to cast the exact same spell on the items that I cast on him the night before.
Get really close, like almost over Kessel's shoulder.
Same roots, drawing the same runes in the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Put my hand on Roderick's shoulder and I'm sorry, buddy. You feel a little less special now?
Here's what they are.
Or more like an object.
You spend 15 minutes identifying them. You have, in your current view, a rod of tentacles. What it does, it is used. I will tell you, my little backstory is used by like slavers and stuff to like grapple people from distance and grab people and drag people. Probably came from a slaving community and from off-world somewhere. But basically, when you use it for one attack, you can only use it once per turn. It automatically makes 3 strikes, 1 for each tentacle. It's a +9 to hit. And each one will attempt to grapple the target, and also will do 1d6 psychic damage if it hits for each one.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's not.
Oh shit! And how much was this thing? 500?
Yeah, you have no idea what it does.
Yeah, all right.
You also can't be within 30 feet of a school.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I mean, it's a slight disadvantage, but
the second item is the battle axe. The battle axe of warning. It is a +1 magical battle axe. The magic weapon warns you of danger. While the weapon is on your person, you have advantage on initiative rolls. In addition, any of your companions within 30 feet of you can't be surprised, except when incapacitated by something other than non-magical sleep. The weapon magically awakens you and your companions within range if any of you are sleeping naturally when combat begins. Mithril armor is not technically magical. It is just takes away the dex advantage. Disadvantage if it's for heavy armor. The scimitar is a flame. It's called a flame tongue scimitar. Scimitar. I gotta look that one up real quick to remember what it does from a damage perspective. But it is basically just a scimitar that deals I believe. While holding this magic weapon, you can take a bonus action and use the command word twice per day. The sword will be engulfed in flame, creating bright light for 40-foot radius and dim light for an additional 40 feet. While the weapon is ablaze, it deals an extra 2d6 fire damage on a hit.
Nice.
It lasts for 1 minute when you ignite it. So basically 1 combat.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Let me see what else I had on this list. Back.
The dust and
dust.
The figure.
Yep. The dust is called Dust of Disappearance. It has 3 charges worth inside the bag. You throw it over yourself and you become invisible. It has 3 charges worth.
Probably don't want to throw that at Strahd in the middle of the fight. So let's rethink that.
That's why I laughed so hard. I thought, go for it.
I'm still curious to what happens if you snort it.
Yeah, so your insides turn invisible.
Yeah.
Reversed.
The fly.
Man, can you imagine though? Jesus. Sorry, go
Would
ahead.
have been great.
For the
Ha!
very last fight, top of Ravenloft, just huck it at him, and he's
That's great.
Invisible ultra vampire.
It is a figurine of wondrous power. It is a statuette of a beast that can fit in your pocket. If you use an action and speak the command word and throw the figurine to a point on the ground within 60 feet of you, it becomes a living creature. And it will turn into a giant fly that is rideable as a creature. And it will last for up to 1 hour.
Is it a one-time use?
No, once per day.
I like that.
Wait.
Yeah, one person can ride.
So,
Oh, one.
so my. All right, so I have all this information.
Yep. You do.
Feel like the axe makes the most sense.
And obviously, it does count as a silvered weapon because it's magical for
It
werewolf
would be another
purposes.
magic weapon that I'm guessing Roderick could wield. It will protect us while if we're out anywhere.
I don't
So
see-
that it-
I don't know if you need another guard.
you still have to rest, and it'll also protect us from being surprised. So even if you're awake, you can still be snuck up upon.
Maybe.
And it's another magic weapon. We only have 2. Well, I guess we have
But the
3.
tentacles are so
We have
much
3.
cooler.
What is the name of
What's that?
the shopkeeper?
The name of the shopkeeper? I gotta look up his name.
Always buy one half off and buy the other one too.
It's true. How much were they again? Sorry,
That's okay. Hold on.
the original prices.
Pretty
Pretty much 500 for everything.
500 for the tentacles, 750 for the 2 magic weapons, the true magic weapons. 500 for the armor, 500 for the dust, 750 for the fly.
So we could afford the one of the weapons and the rod, right? The rod's 500.
I mean, the tentacle is pretty bad. +9 to hit is pretty insane.
I mean, I think we can get all this stuff for free.
Fat finger discount?
No. I think we can get it all for free, though. Walk up to the shopkeeper and say, what's his name again?
I have to look. I don't think I ever gave him his name. I gave him a name. He's just a shopkeeper. His name is Drogan.
Drogan. Drogan, we're going to take everything that you've listed out here. What I'm going to need you to do is to write up our bill and then hand deliver it right now to Vilius von Holtz as fast as you can.
No.
And have him make a Wisdom 16 save, please.
What do you
I am
cast?
casting Suggestion.
Suggestion.
That's a strong
Is it up-
suggestion.
Is it up to 10 customers you're looking for?
Yeah. No, they won't.
You suggest, of course, I'm reading it, just reading it real quick. Limited
Credits
sensitivity.
will be
Magically influence a
fine.
creature you can see within range. You can hear and understand you. Creatures that are can't be charmed or immune. He's not. The suggestion must be worded in such a manner as to make a course of action sound reasonable. Asking a creature. Now, he does know who he is. He's a very rich person, so I think that's borderline reasonable. Asking the creature to stab
he
itself
hired us.
or do some obviously harmful act. The target must make a wisdom saving throw on a failed save. Choose a course of action described to the best of its ability. Okay, got it. I don't see any reason why not. Okay. Now, he will remember this afterwards. I mean, there's nothing that says he won't, so.
No, that's right. I mean, we're taking every magical item he has in the shop. I don't think we're going to come here.
Well, there may be repercussions when you get back, is all I'm suggesting.
We'll sell them back to him for us.
We'll restock his shop, yeah. Other stuff.
That is a pass.
Oh my god.
I mean, not a pass. That is a fail. You passed. I failed. Sorry, to be clear.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Mr. Van Holtz is paying for it all. He looks at you. Yes. Okay. Yes. I don't usually take IOUs, but he's good for it. I mean, he is very wealthy man.
Make sure to give him make sure to include the discount that you gave as well when you send him the bill.
Okay. Yeah, he'll start writing it all down. Yes. And he will give you all the items.
Very well done, man. Very well done.
Wow.
Wow. There will be repercussions.
If we come back with his shit though, like it's definitely worth way more than 1,000 gold. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was just kind of pissed and it was all good. But that kind of hinges on us coming back.
For 3,000 gold worth of magic items, that's pretty great.
Yeah, it's a good way to word it. Only because you use Holtz's name and he is a wealthy noble, I think it counts as reasonable. I mean, otherwise he wouldn't just do that for anybody. So
very nicely done.
Yeah, I think so. He will hand it all over to you. And he's gonna. Well, I need to close. I need to go find Mr. Holtz. So here you go. Good luck, and thank you for your business.
Thank you so much.
Goodbye. All right.
Who's taking what?
Yeah. What? Okay.
All of it is
Okay.
the dust is the only thing that is not attunable, and so is the mithril. Those two things do not get attuned. Everything else, I don't think the fly does either. Just for clarity, I'm double checking that one.
And the fly turns into an animal that we can ride.
Turns into a
fly.
giant fly. Yep.
But it's only one person, right? Only one
Yep.
person.
Only one person
we're
can
not
ride
all,
it.
We're not all
Yep.
riding it.
And we can ride it though, like
Someone can ride it. Yep.
Well, we might need it to pull the cart.
that would be fucking weird.
Of all the weird things they see in Barovia.
That might
Okay,
be on
Drogon,
the list.
Our terms are net 45. We will take it all right now and see you later.
All right, so I'm gonna note. Okay. So yeah, what are we doing? What are we doing? Who's doing what? What? I
I'll
feel
just
like
go
the
through 'em.
axe makes sense for Roderick.
Yeah, Roger.
He's already not using his. He's not using a shield. You've already got a magic item.
You can use a shield though. The battle axe goes one or two handed, so go either way.
Yeah. All right, so Roderick's gonna take the axe.
Zora
so-
should take the tentacle fucking whip rod, dude. I just feel like it makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's
It's kind of like a whip. Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of is.
sure.
It's a grapple. It's not entangle. It's a grapple. So just so we're clear, it's not restraining people. It does a bunch of
I
psychic
mean, it does
damage,
3 attacks at +9 and a whole shitload of damage, whether you grapple it or not.
a D6 of
What was the
D6.
damage? D6.
D6 for each
D6
one.
I'm just
So
saying.
potentially 3D6. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
A
not bad
creepy
at all.
corpse
Shit.
girl with a tentacle whip might be just like nightmare fuel for anybody that we encounter anyway.
True.
You know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go rethink my life. I'm out of here.
One of you two guys want the flaming sword, probably.
I can use the scimitar.
If you can
Okay.
use it,
Unless
you take it.
Okay, so-
Because I got the bow off the druid.
I'm gonna have to make the scimitar because I mean you can put it on your sheet for now, Drew, but I'll have to make it slightly because it's an adjusted version.
I'll just
So
leave
for
it blank. It's no big deal.
Okay, yeah,
We're
I'll
probably
add
gonna
it.
wrap here in a minute.
Yeah, we're not gonna get into combat, so I will add that to Drew's sheet. Okay, and I'm gonna add the battle axe to Pat's sheet. Okay, rod of tentacles to Jeff's sheet.
I'll hold the 2 weird items unless River specifically wants to hold one of them.
No, that's okay.
The dust and the-
I'll don the mithril scale.
Oh yeah. What is what kind of armor is it?
Scale.
Like what level of armor is it?
Scale mail.
Scale mail.
Medium.
That's medium?
If you want to go ahead. I've already got scale mail, so I'm good. But if the stealth disadvantage goes away, that wouldn't hurt. But like if someone else can use it, that's also totally fine.
I think I can use it. What is the
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
What is scale mail?
Mine is AC 14.
Yeah,
And then stealth disadvantage.
Scalar mail. It is medium armor. It is 14 with a dex max +2 with disadvantage on stealth rolls. This one would not. So it's a 14 +2. Up to +2. Medium.
So that would be...
What are you currently wearing?
So, yeah. If somebody else wants it to be better, because it's going to put me at the same. Because my light armor, I get +4 currently, 8 to my AC, so it's going to end up being a wash.
Yeah. What's your current? Yeah. What are you wearing?
Studded leather.
Yeah.
But
So
I've got a +4 from Dex.
Yeah, so you're at 16, and it'll be 16
my shield.
So, yeah. It'll be the same.
So it'd be...
No point. So it takes the disadvantage
so if
from
you want
Ethan.
it for... Yeah, so yeah, it makes more sense for you to have...
Yeah, I'm good taking it, or if it works better for anybody else, that's fine, but I'll take it.
I don't think anyone else can use it.
Okay.
Well, I guess Zora might be able to.
So I say Zora or Lysander, basically the other two options.
I don't
Yeah,
think Lysander
I can wear medium armor.
Oh, you can.
But yeah, but I don't. I think it's fine.
Up to you, man. If you want it, it doesn't. It will. Is your dex modifier like higher than that would? Like, would that inhibit your AC or no?
I have a
Maybe.
+4 dex. Yeah.
Yeah, so you...
Same thing. Same thing as Darren for
Yeah,
that
okay.
one. Jeff's is... Let's take a peek at Jeff's character
Probably
sheet.
+2, but it's probably going up.
Yeah, so Jeff has the +2, but you already have a 17. Oh, it's because you have a shield. Yeah, so yours would be... For you, it would bring you up to 14, 15, 16. It would give you a +1 from where you're at currently. So it'd be a wash for Ethan or a +1 for Jeff. But a disadvantage. So that's the two perks. It's either a +1 for Jeff and stays, just flat out, or Ethan is a wash but loses the disadvantage to stealth.
You can go ahead and take it, Jeff.
Sure.
That's our.
I feel greedy taking 2 items.
Nah, that's all good. I already got a magical item semi-recently anyway, so we're chilling. Plus, let's be real, I'm gonna wield the fucking dope vampire sword. Like, come on.
Likely.
I already had some old scale mail in my inventory. You could sell that off for some extra gold or something.
That was the other thing I was gonna bring up. Actually, we could just sell it in fucking Krezk or something. See if we can pawn it.
You always can.
Yeah.
But for now, you can put it on.
Right.
So, Jeff,
Yeah.
Jeff, that one is in the system already, so you should... Actually, I'll just drop it in there. I was already in your sheet anyways. That one should be available right now. I will do it. Mithril.
The idea that we got all these things for free, basically, so we can just make full profit wherever we sell them.
Guys, why don't we just do this everywhere? Drew, can you just tell everybody that we'll take everything for free, and then we'll just...
I mean, there's some diminishing return on that. We'll get branded as...
Yeah.
Again, there will be some repercussions for this. I don't know what they are
I'm
yet,
sure.
but this is definitely going to change something in Blacky.
As someone who has run games before, that's not something that a player does without me being like, oh, I'm going to get you for that, dude. That's not...
I'm perfectly fine with it. I made my statement. There will still be repercussions. We went forward with it. Everyone knows something will happen.
Yeah.
This is like when you steal.
Either you'll piss off Vasily, or he's going to claim you as robbed. I mean, one of those are your two choices.
We are going to bring back his cart. I mean, we're fine.
Well, that's fine for Vasily.
We'll tell him we needed the supply to bring back the cart. We wanted to make sure in your investment.
Okay.
I think it'll be... Yeah. No going back now. We'll figure out what we'll do when we run into that bridge.
Doug will have a couple of weeks to figure out how that's going to play out. Probably 4 weeks before you guys get back to Vallaki at least. So, okay. I will drop those on character sheets sometime in the next 2 weeks.
Can you drop the 2 weird ones on mine, Doug? The dust and the fly. Yeah. I'll hold on to those.
Yep, I got it. I'll put it on my list. Got it. Okay. All right, with that, you guys are going to head into the church, it sounds like. Do a quick changeroo, and then head out. Yes?
Yes.
Okay, not going to RP that out. With that, you all, with Drew, you're going to cast. Go ahead and take, if that's a spell slot, take that off.
Yeah, I already know.
So we don't forget. That's 2 spell slots. That's an early day, yes? Burning through those spell slots early. But that's worth it, though. That one was worth it. If we're... I mean, even if it is 8 more weeks before we get another long rest, which at our current rate might be, that was worth it. With that, you guys change... start making your way out of town and on towards the Vistani camp. And quite frankly, with 9 minutes to go, I think that's where we'll just wrap up tonight as you guys leave the village. As I expected, that was going to be a lot of conversation about next steps, but I think we have a good path and a plan, although changed it. I was like, I wish you would have had that plan in the morning, because I knew I was going to drop one more possible fetch quest into the mix to add to your list. So now we have the missing cart, we have Argavostholt, and the winery. I think all 3 are on your list, but I think we're heading to the cart first, is what I believe is about to happen. So we'll pick it up.
Yeah, I think we figure that out and then decide, where to go from there, depending on what we find.
Yeah, I am curious about the Fiona offer, where people are going to stand with that, but I don't think the group knows yet.
Fuck her.
All right. Well, that's where we'll
keep. Sorry.
No,
do you want to keep just keep it as party gold, or do you want me to divvy it up?
Keep it as party gold for now.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, always, in my opinion, always easier to just keep that all in one stack, honestly.
Okay. We'll come back to Sugar Mama Calsolis when we need some.
There you go.
Got
there
it.
you go. All right. Well, that's where we will pick it up next time. So if you're listening, thank you, and we will see you next time. And I will bring us to end credits.